Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we are going to learn something very useful about the Unit 7 Scientific Section, Grade 12. Of course, this unit talks about microorganisms. Microorganisms are very tiny creatures that cannot be seen by naked eye. Let's first know some important words in the unit. We start with causative. Causative means acting as the cause of something. Pneumonia, an acute inflammation of the lungs. Symptom, a sign that something exists especially bad. Gut, in fact, is a tube in the body through which food passes when it leaves the stomach. Decompose means to destroy gradually by natural chemical processes. Digest means to change the food you have just eaten into substances that your body can use. Let's move to the vocabulary exercise. In this exercise, we have some verbs and nouns who make combinations and give different meanings. Let's see the verbs first. We have make, raise, give, run, meet, and lose. The nouns are a lift, temper, an effort, a risk, taxes, expectations. Before we start doing the exercise, we should notice that every word has its own meaning in isolation, but when they are combined together, they give us a new meaning. Let's see the first pair. The first pair, lose, comes with temper. Can you guess the meaning of lose temper? When you get very annoyed and angry, you lose your temper. The second one, run risk. When you run a risk, this means that you do something you don't know the results of. Raise taxes. You know that taxes are the money which people pay for the government. When we raise money or raise taxes, we get more money to pay for the government. Number 4, meet expectations. When you meet expectations of someone, that means that you do something that someone expects you to do. Number 5, give a lift. Give a lift means to take someone in your own car to some place. Number 6, make an effort. Make an effort means that you do your best to achieve something. Now, let's move to do an exercise and see how we use these pairs in real sentences. Number 1. Our boss often gets angry and his when things go wrong. Can you guess the meaning here? Do you know which pair is correct and suitable for this sentence? I will give you 20 seconds to think about the answer. Okay? Loses temper is the correct answer. So our boss often gets angry and loses his temper when things go wrong. Number 2. If she never posts anything on her personal website, she the of alienating her fans. Of course, we have 4 alternatives to choose one of. Letter A, raises taxes. B, loses temper. C, runs risk. And D, meets expectation. You have 10 seconds to think about the correct answer. Okay? You can easily see that runs a risk is the correct answer of the following sentences. So, the sentence becomes, if she never posts anything on her personal website, she runs the risk of alienating her fans. Number 3. Politicians often think the government should, in order to get more money to spend. I think that third sentence is very simple. The correct answer is obviously raise taxes. So, the sentence becomes, politicians often think the government should raise taxes in order to get more money to spend. I will give you 20 seconds to think about the following 3 sentences, 4, 5, and 6. Then I will do the exercise myself. Let's do the exercise together. The new clerk didn't, the correct answer is D, meet his boss' expectations and was fired after only 2 months. Number 5. His car broke down, so I gave him a lift to the nearest garage. The correct answer is B. Number 6. Not everything happens on its own sometimes. You have to. The correct answer is D. You have to make an effort to get things done. So, you will try your best to achieve what you want or seek. Now, I will give you a 2 minutes break to study the exercise we have just done. Then we are going to move to discuss the grammar section in this lesson. Here we are again, my dear students. The grammar section, or the grammar part. In this lesson, we'll talk about conditional sentences type 2 and 3. Let's start together with conditional sentences type 2. In this part, or in this type of conditional sentences, we start the sentence with if plus past simple, as you can see in the green color. Simple past or past simple, there is no different, is the tense we use with in the main clause. The result clause will have would plus infinitive. This type refers to imaginary situations in the past. For example, if I had enough money, I would buy a Ferrari. So, I'm talking now. I'm very sad that I don't have money and I cannot buy a Ferrari. But if I had enough money, I would buy a Ferrari. Let's talk again about the form. In if clause, or we can also call it the main clause, if is followed by simple past tense. We said that we use the conditional sentences type 2 to refer to an imaginary situations in the present, something I wish I have now in the present but I didn't have. Let's go to discuss the form. If clause, or as I have just said, we can say main clause. If is followed by simple past, the result clause will contain would plus an infinitive. Let's see the following example. If I found her address, you can see that we used the verb found, which is the past simple of the verb find. If I found her address, I would send her an invitation. If I were you, so I did not say if I am you, because I want and I need to use the past simple. I wouldn't do this. We have would or wouldn't. It makes no difference between the negative and the affirmative. It is not something to worry about, my dear students, and we used do in the infinitive form. If I were you, I wouldn't do this. I am not you, so I will not do this. Let's now talk about the use of conditional sentences type 2. Conditional sentences type 2 refer to something not true about the present or future, something we call imaginative. Let's have another example. If I had enough time, I would visit my aunt. I don't have enough time. now, so I cannot visit her. And B, in formal English, we usually use were instead of was in second conditionals. So, all the pronouns will take were even with I, he, she, it, which we used to use was with them. In conditional sentences type 2, we use were with all the pronouns. The if clause can be the first or the second in the sentence. Here, don't worry if you see the sentence starting with the result clause or the first clause. You can use them at any way you like, and there is no problem. Let's now move to discuss conditional sentences type 3. In type 3, we have past perfect, not past simple. So, the main clause will contain the past perfect, not the past simple, as we have just seen in conditional sentences type 2. The result clause in this type would contain would, have, past participle. This type refer also to imaginary situations, but in the past, not the present. For example, if I had had enough money, I would have bought a Ferrari. Let's see the form. Again, if clause or the main clause. If in the main clause will be followed by the past perfect, the result clause will contain would plus have plus past participle, and some students like to call it verb 3. For example, if I had found her address, I would have sent her an invitation. Let's move now, my dear students, to talk about the use. Why do we use conditional sentences type 3? Conditional sentences type 3 refer to something not true about the past. They are truly hypothetical and unreal. For example, if I had had enough time yesterday, I would have visited my aunt. I didn't have enough time yesterday, so I couldn't visit her. Let me tell you something about the following sentence. Some students may become confused if they see had. Some students used to use have and has or even had as a modal or an auxiliary verb. But in this case, don't worry about them, because the first had is the modal verb and the second one is الله يعافيك. تمام يلا سلام. So, if I had, the first had is a modal verb, and the second one is the main verb If I had had enough time yesterday, I would have visited my aunt. I didn't have enough time yesterday, so I didn't visit my aunt, or I didn't visit her. Okay, let's do an exercise. It is very similar to the questions you will have in the exam. Number 1, I'm very unhappy if my friends didn't come to the party. Can you guess the correct answer? Of course, some of you will ask him or herself the following question: how can I get the correct answer? Easily, you can look to the part which is given in the sentence. If you look at the following sentence, you can see there is a problem here. Okay, let's look to sentence number 4. People wouldn't have crossed the Bosphorus if these bridges. If you look at the first part of the sentence, you can see that we started with the result clause first. People wouldn't have crossed. So we have wouldn't, have, and past participle. So this type or this sentence is from the third type of conditional sentences. So after if, we should have past perfect, and the correct answer is C. Number 5, you would have some money in your pocket if you ate so generously. In this sentence, we also started with the result clause. The result clause contains would, have, and the rest. So would plus have, we have would and an infinitive. We don't have verb 3, so this sentence is from type 2, and we will continue the sentence with past simple. So the correct answer, as you can see on the screen, is C, didn't spend. The sentence becomes, you would have some money in your pocket if you didn't spend it so generously. Number 6, I think it becomes very clear now for you. If I in debt, I would quit my job. The second part has would and quit. So I have would plus an infinitive verb. I should use the past simple, and the letter B or the alternative B is the correct answer. The sentence becomes, if I weren't in debt, I would quit my job. Let's move to the pronunciation part in this lesson. In this section, we are going to talk about some silent letters. Silent letters are the letters that we do not pronounce when we read a sentence. Sorry, a word. Of course, when we write the word, as we can see in the first word, logically, we write the A, which is in red, but we don't pronounce it. We don't read it like logically. We read it like logically. So the A is silent. The second word, climb, the B is in red, so we don't pronounce it. Climb, we don't say climb. Muscle, not muscle. Wednesday, not Wednesday. Make, not makey. Calm, not calm. Halfpenny, not halfpenny. A light. So the GH here are silent letters. A light. Exhaust, not exhaust. Business, not busyness. Knife, not knife. Mnemonic, not mnemonic. You can notice it is very difficult to pronounce the M letter here, especially in this word. Autumn, autumn, not autumn. Sword, not sword. Castle, not castle. And colleague, not colleague. That was everything for today. Thank you for attending us, my dear students, and I hope you very good days and very good exam. Thank you, my dear students.